Hey, it's Marek. Last month, I was running a workshop at Singularity University. It was quite interesting. I watched 30 C level executives build 50 working AI prototypes in about 2 hours. They had no IT backgrounds, so that's great that they could build those prototypes. But also, there was no documentation, no plan for maintenance. And so, you can build an agent in 8 minutes, but managing them, those agents that you build, could be taking forever, and we need to start talking about it. This week's newsletter imagines a near future, a Tuesday morning, if you will, in the life of an AI operations coordinator. It is fiction, but barely. It's a newsletter about what I call HR for bots. Now, I'll talk about a number of disasters in that story, but every disaster in the story has already happened somewhere, and I'll be giving those examples as well. So let me read the story for you. Now, for those of you who are watching a video of this podcast, I was told that people would prefer me not to read from a screen, but really read at the viewers. So that's what I'll try to do. I'm getting a bit of help from a teleprompter. Let's see how it goes. As you know, I just love to experiment with those podcasts, I guess video casts as well. So the title of the newsletter is "Who's Managing Your AI Agents?" The subtitle is "Building Takes 8 Minutes, Managing Takes Forever." Near future, Tuesday, 8:47 a.m. I arrive at my desk with cold flat white. My job title is AI Operations Coordinator. My actual job, HR for bots. Now, this position didn't exist 8 months ago. Then marketing discovered OpenAI's Agent Kit, the one that was just launched by OpenAI a week ago. One afternoon, 5 people built 89 AI agents. It's a fictional story, everyone, okay? Nobody documented what they did. Nobody assigned owners. Nobody thought about what happens when you have 89 autonomous software employees running loose. So the board created agent resources. Team Jamie, Dev, Marcus, and me. So that morning, I opened the agent roster. 312 active agents in the organization. 17 flagged for performance review. 4 pending termination. And agent A47 is down again. We'll talk about agent A47 a bit later. Now, this part is not a speculation. Last month, I ran a Gen AI workshop for Singularity University, 30 C-level executives from Poland's largest corporations, no IT backgrounds. In 2 hours, they built more than 50 working prototypes, which is awesome, but also zero documentation, zero ownership, zero plan for who maintains them. So building agents indeed takes 8 minutes, and managing them takes forever. There's a report which McKinsey published recently, and they buried a warning in their report. The real challenge of agents lies in coordination, judgment, and trust, and how organizations prevent unchecked sprawl as agent creation becomes increasingly democratized. Unchecked sprawl. Another report from Bain. Bain is more direct. They say, current architectures simply cannot handle this balance when AI agents are used in the thousands across the enterprise yet. And Gartner predicts that 40% of enterprise applications will have embedded agents by the end of 2026, up from less than 5% today. Unchecked sprawl. The easier agents are to build, the harder they are to manage, and everyone celebrates the 8-minute build time, but nobody budgets for the infinite maintenance costs. All right, back to the story. 9:15 a.m., morning stand-up. Jamie handles onboarding, which is making sure new agents don't immediately cause disasters. Dev does retraining, which means he's teaching agents new tricks when business logic changes. Marcus does compliance, which agents can see customer data. Agent B22 DM'd our CEO's mother-in-law on LinkedIn, Jamie says. On purpose? Marketing built it for social outreach, gave it right access to the company LinkedIn, forgot to specify which customers to contact. All right, priority high, category embarrassing. It's not a speculation. Now, in 2024, so last year, Air Canada's chatbot promised a customer a bereavement discount that didn't exist. The airline had to pay damages when the customer tried to claim it. The agent had access to customer service, but nobody had trained it on actual company policies. 9:47 a.m. Sales managers want a meeting. Agent S09 and Agent S14 are both emailing the same leads. Same customers, contradictory pricing. The agents are having a territorial dispute. So I ask, why do you have two agents doing the same job? Silence. And then the response, S09 handles enterprise, S14 handles mid-market. We just never defined what enterprise means. I resist the urge to scream, define the boundary by noon, or I'm deleting one of them. Now, again, not a speculation. In 2011, two Amazon booksellers, by the way, this is one of my most favorite stories about agents in the wild. In 2011, two Amazon booksellers both used pricing algorithms to list the same out-of-print biology textbook, the Anatomy of a Fly, if I remember correctly. That was the title. That's not in the text. That's just my comment. One algorithm priced slightly below the competitor. The other priced 27% above. Neither had a sanity check. Within days, the price spiraled from $106 to $23,698,655.93 and $3.99 shipping. The algorithms were having a pricing war with each other. Nobody noticed for weeks. Back to my Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Agent A47 has a 23% false positive rate on fraud detection. It's flagging legitimate refunds as suspicious because it was trained during Q1's fraud spike and nobody ever retrained it. Dev can fix it in 3 days. If customer success signs off, they won't respond to my emails though. Note to self, chase CS team again. Not a speculation. In 2021, Zillow's home buying algorithm lost $881 million. The AI was trained on pandemic-era prices. Then the market shifted. Nobody retrained it. The algorithm kept buying houses at inflated prices while trying to compete with rivals. By the time executives noticed, Zillow had overpaid for thousands of homes it couldn't resell at profit. The company shut down the entire Zillow Offers division and cut 2,000 jobs. Back to the Tuesday, 11:15 a.m. Legal wants an audit of every agent with access to customer C4242. Finance wants to know why agent D12 costs $8,400 a month. Product thinks it analyzes user feedback, but they're not entirely sure. It was built by an intern who left in June. It's still running. Maybe it does some work for the intern. Nobody knows. Nobody has admin access. This is my life now. Not a speculation. In 2020, an ex-Google engineer deployed a web scraper with a $7 billing budget. Woke up to a $72,000 bill. His recursive function triggered 116 billion searches. Even he didn't know that billing budgets were just notifications, not caps. Worse, billing took 24 hours to sync, so nobody noticed until it was too late. Google waived it as a one-time gesture. 2 p.m. Meeting with the vice president. My pitch: shut down 34 agents immediately. Orphaned, broken, unused. Consolidate another 20. Save $12,000 a month. 91 agents in red or gray status. Most haven't been accessed in 90 days, but still cost us $4,000 a month. What's the risk? Asks the VP. Minimal. Most have no owner. If we shut them down and someone screams, we turn them back on. but I don't think anyone will notice. He approves it. Then I pitched a bigger idea. No new agents without approval from agent resources. Right now, anyone can spin up an agent in 8 minutes. No documentation, no owner, no plan. In 6 months, we'll have 500 agents and total chaos. New role, new rule. Fill out a form, job descriptions, success metrics, data access, owner, approval required. He grimaces but agrees. Draft the policy. Well, not a speculation. On average, large enterprises think they use 37 apps. They actually use 625, including more than 170 AI apps. Shadow IT consumes 30 to 40% of IT budgets. Apps nobody approved, nobody tracked, and in many cases, nobody even knew existed. 3:45 p.m., updating the roster when Marcus stops by. You ever think about how weird this is? We're doing HR for software, performance reviews, layoffs, compliance audits. I lean back. You know what's weirder? In a year, we'll have 1,000 agents. Agent resources will be bigger than actual HR. You think other companies are doing this? Not yet, but they will. Now that's a speculation. But here's what might happen at your company. Sales will build agents. Marketing will build agents. Customer success, product and finance, everyone will build agents. Because it takes 8 minutes and requires no approval. In 6 months, you'll have 500 agents. No org chart. 3 contradict each other, 12 redundant, 8 broken, and nobody noticing. Your CTO will walk into a board meeting and admit, we have 400 agents and no idea what most of them do. So what can you do to avoid agent sprawl? Here's a couple of ideas. Appoint an owner, someone whose job is agent governance. Make it someone's problem before it's everyone's crisis. 2. Require approval for new agents. 1-page use case, description, problem, metrics, and owner. Keep it simple, please. You don't want to stifle innovation, but if you can't write it, don't build it. 3. Budget for agent management. Agents aren't set and forget. They need retraining, updates, and governance. They're like digital minions, always there, happy to help, but you look away for a bit and disasters start to happen. In 6 months, AI Operations Coordinator will be a real job posting at half the companies reading this. The other half already hired someone. They just called it something else. So that's my most recent newsletter. Again, quite a lot of comments on LinkedIn especially, right? So, some versions of my newsletter get a lot of traction on Substack. Some get a lot of traction on LinkedIn. This is a LinkedIn story, really. The comments on this one, quite fascinating. There was one question from a reader who asked me, what's the difference between what I write about, the agent sprawl, and shadow IT? Well, great. I keep asking myself the same question all the time. And I think currently, the way I understand it, the difference is that it's shadow IT on steroids. It's faster, it's more autonomous, it's more unpredictable. We have model drift, things keep changing, and we have infinite variations. It's not just like 50 or 200 or even 500 applications. Anyone can build their own agents, so there could be thousands, if not tens of thousands of them. Another reader wrote, our pace of consumption isn't keeping up with our ability to create. Think about it. Our pace of consumption isn't keeping up with our ability to create. So before you build your next agent, ask yourself, who's going to manage it when you're gone? Make it someone's problem before it becomes everyone's crisis. That's it for this week. Stay curious.